came across my timeline as I'm sitting here just chilling. I don't even know where I'm looking on this. Just chilling and on TikTok, and because I don't watch mainstream news, if I come across it, okay. However, I am utterly sickened by this report of a young man, 25 years old, Jalen Walker. I don't know if any of you guys have heard the story. Akron Police shot this young man not 10 times, not 20 times did they shoot him. Not even 40 times did they shoot this man. The Akron Police shot Jalen Walker 60 times. I am devastated. I didn't even, you know what? I didn't know any of the background, because when stories hit any type of platform, we all were like, we read the comments, right? And you'll see somebody, well, I need to know the background story. When I saw this post, and I'm going to play it for you, come across my timeline on social media, and I read it. And I don't know if you guys can even see what it says. Let me get it out frame. You can see it a little bit. Akron Police shoots 25, it's hard to read backwards, y'all. 25-year-old Jalen Walker 60 times. Simply by the number of bullets that were fired into a human being. I did not even need to read the story. And I already knew what time it was when it came to the race of the person. On the Breakfast Club, sometimes you will hear Charlemagne the God talk about, he has like a game after he presents his donkey of the day, and he says, guess what race they were? Let me read this caption. Akron Police shoot 25-year-old Jalen Walker 60 times. We shutting the city down. Guess what race Jalen was? Well, you already know. I'm going to let you guys see what's going on in Akron. Let me see if I can get to it. These people. You know what? The devil is a liar. The devil is a liar. Hold on. Before I do that, let me give you the report from the police, because I'm going to have to find it, because if you don't play it right away, TikTok going to take it away. I'm going to let you hear the police, well, half of the police report, because they still investigating. They still investigating what went down. 60 times, it ain't no investigation. You have to shoot and kill somebody. We already know they make themselves the juror, the judge. 60 times, you have made yourself God. The police department at this point has made themselves God. 60 times. That's beyond overkill. Let's get into this.
We began tonight in Akron, Ohio, where the city's 4th of July celebrations were canceled due to an investigation into the deadly police shooting of Jalen Walker. The 25-year-old black man was unarmed when he was killed in a hail of bullets after a traffic stop. This afternoon, police released the disturbing body cam footage, which shows officers fired dozens of rounds as Walker ran away. This weekend, and hundreds of people protested in the streets calling for justice.
Hold on for 1 minute. Let me say this before I finish letting you guys see this news report. I want you to look at this news report and tell me if you see the inconsistencies regarding this news report, okay? Let's continue.
Elise Preston has been covering the developments today. Elise?
Jerica, the 8 officers under investigation are on paid leave after the attempted traffic stop and deadly pursuit. The police union says those officers are cooperating with the investigation. We have to warn you, the body camera video you are about to see is disturbing. Newly released body camera video shows the moments leading up to the deadly shooting of Jalen Walker.
The officers have not been able to provide a statement yet. I am reserving any sort of judgment until we hear from them.
Akron Police say the 25-year-old delivery driver sped off when they tried to pull him over for a traffic violation last week. During the chase, investigators claim Walker fired from the window of his car, a claim his family disputes.
21 shots fired. That vehicle just had a shot come out of its door.
Video shows Walker exiting the car on foot wearing a ski mask. Authorities say officers tried to use tasers to stop him, but opened fire when he turned around to face them. Investigators say Walker was hit dozens of times.
The ME's report indicates over 60 wounds to Mr. Walker's body.
Walker never fired a shot during the foot chase, but officers say they found a gun and a loaded magazine in his car.
Jalen was a sweet young man. He never caused any trouble.
Hundreds of demonstrators have gathered in Akron this weekend to protest. Akron native and NBA icon LeBron James tweeted out, "I pray for my city today." Walker's family and city leaders are urging protesters to remain peaceful.
Listen, you'll have to do one of the most difficult things that I can ever ask somebody to do, and that is to please be patient and let the Attorney General do their work.
Patient.
Once the state's
60
investigation
times
the case will be
they
handed
put
over
bullets
to
in a
the Ohio Attorney
25-year-old
General's
young
office for
man.
further review before being presented to a
I'm
grand
going to play
jury
this
for
report
evaluation.
one more time. This report has me on live right now. This just happened last week, and it's because of they don't want to reserve any judgment. If you are on a police squad, if you work for a police department, 60 times, it's suspension without pay. Because they don't understand anything but hurting their wallets. Guys, the inconsistencies that are in this report is unbelievable because, see, I'm going to tell you what I pointed out when I saw this report. The police officer from the body cam said that Jalen, let me see if I can get his picture right here and pause it for y'all as I talk. Said Jalen, this 25-year-old young man, as he was fleeing from a traffic stop, fired about 25 bullets. About 25 bullets outside of the vehicle. The young man got out the car and fled from the traffic stop, turned around, unarmed, and received 60 shots to his body. Later in the report, it is said that the young man had a weapon in the car, a loaded handgun, one loaded handgun you saw on the car seat with a full magazine. I hope you are following me here. I hope that you are understanding where I'm coming from. One officer said 25 shots rang out from his car. That would have to consist of a gun that would allow you to have 25 plus bullets in a magazine. Am I correct? I'm not even a firearms expert, you see. The police officer in this report said 25 shots rang out from the car that Jalen was driving. When they shot this man 60 times, unarmed, they found a handgun fully loaded. Let's get back to it, okay? I'm going to let you hear the full report once again. Because, see, you can't have a handgun fully loaded, but you saying 25 shots rang out. But you ain't find no automatic weapon. Somebody, I hope you hear.
The city's 4th of July celebrations were canceled due to an investigation into the deadly police shooting of Jalen Walker. The 25-year-old black man was unarmed when he was killed in a hail of bullets after a traffic stop. This afternoon, police released the disturbing body cam footage, which shows officers fired dozens of rounds as Walker ran away. This weekend, hundreds of people protested in the streets calling for justice. Elise Preston has been covering the developments today. Elise?
Jerica, the 8 officers under investigation are on paid leave after the attempted traffic stop and deadly pursuit. The police union says those officers are cooperating with the investigation. We have to warn you, the body camera video you are about to see is disturbing. Newly released body camera video shows...
Okay, I'm going to pause it because I want to point out exactly what I observed in this video. The information that came through in this report.
Leading up to the deadly shooting of Jalen Walker.
The officers have not been able to provide a statement yet. I am reserving any sort of judgment until we hear from them.
Akron Police say the
Okay, first of all, it's been a week. Okay? I don't know why after someone has had 60 bullets put into their body, why wasn't the report taken that night? Why wasn't the report taken that night? 60 bullets to take down a person. Now pay attention because I'm going to stop this as we go through this report. 60 bullets to take down a man. And they claim that he shot 25 times out of the car. Here we go.
Pull him over for a traffic violation last week. During the chase, investigators claim Walker fired from the window of his car, a claim his family disputes.
21 shots fired. That vehicle just had a shot come out
Okay.
of its door.
Okay, hold on. You heard this is body cam footage. So this is not something that is just they're reporting. This is the actual body cam footage. These officers said they heard 21 shots come out of the vehicle. Pay attention. Pay attention to this report.
Sitting the car on foot wearing a ski mask. Authorities say officers tried to use tasers to stop him, but opened fire when he turned around to face them. Investigators say Walker was hit dozens of times.
The ME's report indicates over 60 wounds to Mr. Walker. Walker's body.
Walker never fired a shot during the foot chase.
Walker never fired a shot. Hold on, let me pause that real quick. 60 times, my people. Come on, I can't even wrap my head around 60 times. They said, this is all on the body cam footage. So when you heard the officer say there were 21 shots that came out of that car, and when they said he turned around, he was unarmed, okay? Let's see what was in the car.
And a loaded magazine in his car.
Jalen was a sweet
Let me go back a little bit. Hold on, let me go back.
Say they found a gun and Walker never fired a shot during the foot chase, but officers say they found a gun and a loaded magazine.
Y'all see that loaded magazine?
was a sweet young man.
Did y'all see that, the gun, guys? We not Willie Lump anymore. We not Boo Boo the Fool, okay? You said 20 shots rang out of this man's vehicle. You see right here. Let me put it on pause. You see right here, that's a handgun, a fully loaded magazine. This happened last week, guys. 60 shots. They said, well, it's factual. They took down a man with 60 shots. They said he shot out his window 21 times. A handgun they found conveniently in the front of his vehicle. He ran out of his vehicle on foot. When he turned around after the attempted traffic stop, he was unarmed. You cannot shoot 21 times with a handgun. A handgun that they conveniently found after they took him out with 60 gunshots to the body. 61, I believe, the police chief said. But they conveniently found a handgun that doesn't even look like it's a special, that rack. This handgun, this clip, looks like it holds about 8 bullets, because most standard clips, they only hold 8 bullets. This is a regular handgun. This is the only thing they found on the scene. But the police, from the body cam, said 21 bullets rang out of his car. Let's continue.
In his car.
Jalen was a sweet young man. He never caused any trouble.
Hundreds of demonstrators have gathered in Akron this weekend to protest. Akron native and NBA icon LeBron James tweeted out, "I pray for my city today." Walker's family and city leaders are urging protesters to remain peaceful.
Listen, you'll have to do one of the most difficult things that I can ever ask somebody to do, and that is to please be patient and let the Attorney General do their work.
Once the state's investigation is complete, the case will be handed over to the Ohio Attorney General's office for further review before being presented to a grand jury for evaluation. Jerika? Elise, just hearing those gunshots is hard to hear. Just to think.
I don't understand why, when there's such a tragedy like this, would they allow these 8 officers to not provide a police statement right after the incident occurs? To me, that is the most shadiest business that the police department does, because you're allowing them to get their thoughts together. All 8 of those officers are on paid leave. Who's to say that these officers are not corroborating with each other to get their story together? Because right now, from just watching this report with the body cam footage, you can already see the inconsistencies and the lies. From the officer saying 21 bullets shot out of his car, but you see he got out of his car and ran and was unarmed, but they conveniently found a loaded gun in his car, handgun, which a typical handgun that's not modified, only 7 to 8 bullets can you have. So they found a loaded handgun in his car. Something is not right about this case already. If you went and bought one firecracker, my people, my peeps, and if you're Israel, you already know we don't do the holidays like that. We don't celebrate pagan holidays. But for people who are not Israel, if you are sitting here thinking that the best interest of your government is you, well, I tell you, you better think again. 60 shots rang out to kill a 25-year-old unarmed black man. You may not see a cover-up, but I damn sure do, because that night, had 21 shots rang out, that whole strip of where that chase went down would have been investigated. You would have seen a gun thrown out of the window, because 21 shots is not going to be in one little handgun. And you conveniently find a loaded handgun in I don't know if it was a passenger seat, but you just conveniently find a loaded handgun in this young man's car. You know, it's irritating and frustrating and sickening to see these type of reports. And I know some people, they won't understand this, but I have said several times before that Jake is in trouble, and it rattled my soul so much to come on and talk to you guys after I heard 60 shots. If you are not sickened by 60 shots to take down one person, they don't shoot animals 60 times like that to take them out on a hunting expedition. They don't shoot animals 60 times. But they shot and killed a young man 25 times. So what I want to do is I want to try to get to where I saw them, and I can't pull it up here, on the first broadcast. I saw this report go down on TikTok. Okay, hold on, let me see if I can pull it up. Let's see if I can find it again. Jalen. Okay, hold on. If you haven't heard about it, if this doesn't bother your soul, something is definitely, and I'm not even saying this it should affect you because you are a person, an African American, whatever you consider yourself, a Jake, tribe of Israel. This should bother your soul because you are a human being. And if they can sit and shoot somebody, a human being, 60 god doggone times, just because you possess the pigmentation of a different race, don't think that you're sitting in a convenient place right about now. Don't think that you are protected right about now. All of this desensitizing you guys to our plight, well, it's only going to come back around to your plight. When your children are getting shot and killed, taken out 60 times, mutilated, turned into hamburger. Because that is unnecessary. More than overkill. So I just wanted to show you guys some of the things that are going on social media if you have not heard about it. So I'm going to just pick some people's, what they're talking about. This is Jalen. Let me see if I can turn it up for you guys to hear. Because you know, they love to make folks look so hardened. This is Jalen. Okay? We don't know what Jalen was out doing. We don't know what you know, why kids do what they do, or young men do what they do. But I guarantee that although it was a regular traffic stop, for a lot of black men, there is no such thing as a regular traffic stop. Absolutely no such thing. In the middle of the night, I can already hear people say, well, why did he get out the car? Why did he give chase? Why did he run? Why did he have a hoodie or a ski mask? Why are these kids, young folks, wearing hoodies in the heat still? They do what they do. But we are not the judge and the jury. And this was just a regular traffic stop in their eyes. But I guarantee you, and I'm not a betting person, but for black men and black people, but especially black men, there's no such thing as a regular traffic stop. So that's Jalen. I want
everybody to meet 25-year-old Jalen Walker.
Let you see what other people are saying.
The police in Akron, Ohio murdered this young man in as brutal fashion as anyone has ever seen. And if anybody needs an idea of how brutal I'm really referring to, I want everybody to think back to the movie of Set It Off when Cleo was being unalived in that one scene. Mm-hmm. Pretty much similar.
Yeah.
Now, there was 8 police officers, 7 of which were white, that fired a staggering 90 bullets at Jalen, shooting him at least 60 times in his face, chest, legs, back, and feet, and everywhere else that you can imagine. Even when he fell down, they kept shooting. They shot him 60 times, body mutilated as any human being could ever be. Oh, and get this. He was unarmed when they shot him. Now, the police are claiming they pulled him over for a traffic violation. But y'all already really know what it is. Now, it's also being said that Jalen's never been arrested or even been in trouble a day in his life. This don't make no sense. Y'all just make sure y'all taking care of yourselves and your loved ones, and remember that it's impossible to be unarmed when the weapon you fear.
Justice for Jalen Walker. A sometimes simple, yet often complex question, especially for a heartbroken mother and sister. The answer.
I just want you to see that
elusive.
we are human, but treated like less than animals.
Why won't he light up Sunday dinners with pranks of laughter? Why this carefree spirit is now silenced?
Why did this happen in such a manner? Such a terrible, terrible way.
They want to know why Akron Police opened fire, striking down the 25-year-old in a flurry of gunshots.
We just want to know what happened and why did this have to happen to him.
He was Pamela Walker's only son, Jada's only brother. But early Monday morning, police say Jalen fled in his car from officers, firing a gun along the way. 4 minutes later, he ran from his car to a parking lot. What happened next is unclear, but 8 officers would open fire.
I'm just profoundly sad. That's all I can say. I had never been so sad in my life. And I wouldn't wish this feeling on anybody.
Jalen went to Buchtel High and aspired to one day run his own company. He was a delivery driver who loved to travel. A speeding ticket, his only encounter with police. His shimmering light dimmed by the recent death of his fiancée in a car crash.
Definitely not his destiny. Not his destiny.
Now left to mourn again, emotions running in their minds and heart. They want peace now, and that one answer they may never fully understand.
Because I'm angry. I'm sick as a mother that it came to that. If they would have spent 5 minutes with him, it would never have ended that way.
Now, they're not sure they will get those answers in a meeting with Akron Police Chief Steve Milet, who reached out offering to show the family the body cam footage of Jalen's death. Now, that video is expected to be really difficult to watch as officers fired over 90 rounds, striking Jalen's body.
Justice for Jalen Walker.
Striking his body 60 times. Face, arms, chest, feet. Shooting him even after he laid on the ground. And you think that these black men out here are not afraid to get out of their car, stop on the highway for a regular traffic stop? When we hear these stories over and over again, but they're getting worse. Who has been shot 60 times? But you see, a lot of people won't concern themselves with this. I'm not saying to go march in the streets. That is definitely not what I am saying. Because you see, we already know marching got us nowhere. Nowhere. Yeah, I said nowhere. That is just sickening. To mutilate someone like that. Even in war, when soldiers go to war, there's even a playbook, an engagement, rules of engagement. But there is no rules of engagement when it comes to these black men and young boys and children. 60 times? Well, like I said, I hope you didn't buy not one firecracker. I hope you're not seasoning up your meat, and I hope it's not sizzling on the grill. Because what affects us affects you all. But the only thing that affects the powers that be is definitely not marching. It's that dollar bill. Definitely not burning down your own communities. I don't know if this is just another level to a, agenda. Because we know that they want to spark a race war. So possibly minds got together, you know, kneeling on someone's neck, riled up the whole world. Marches started here, went to Africa, Europe, Italy, all around the world. "60 times. That's mutilation. That is not the judge and jury anymore. And that is God. You're taking on the Creator's position. This could just be, in my opinion, a spark that they want for us to engage in a race war. I say don't. But pay attention. Because definitely what happens to the African Americans, black people around the world, the salt, it trickles downhill. And it definitely is going to be happening to you. We might be used as target practice for when they get ready to round people up and put them in, you know, those camps. Well, think about if you try to run. You have to think about the bigger picture here. Don't think that you have the complexion for the protection of the collection and think that you're safe and that you won't receive 60 rounds, 70 rounds. Hey, 100, 200 rounds, unarmed. Not in trouble a day in his life. Oh, a previous traffic stop. But haven't we all had a ticket before if you've driven a car? You see, what other nations will like to do is, we gotta find, where's the blame in him at? No. Where's the blame in us all for ignoring the plight? This was last week. The 4th of July, independence, you've been lied. You have been had and you have been hoodwinked to think that you have independence. So I was showing you the report regarding Jalen, a 25-year-old man that was just mutilated, shot down 60 times. I wanted to get and show you a route that some of the people took in his city. Hold on. I'm gonna see if I can find the initial report. And I'm not saying that there are not people of other nations that support our cause.
Officers, while serving a warrant in Kentucky.
So I'm gonna let you see this one.
Yet another tragedy involving police officers. While serving a warrant, a Kentucky man shot 6 officers, killing 3 of them, as well as a police dog, and then went on the run. Police end up in a vehicle pursuit with a suspect when he bails out of the car, and they pursue him on foot. For seemingly no apparent reason, one of the officers pulls his weapon and fires, and then they all follow suit. It's estimated they shot about 90 shots, hitting the suspect 60 times and killing him. And you may say, hey, you shoot 6 cops, you killed 3 of them and a police dog. You could expect to be gunned down in the street. Only those are 2 different stories. And the second story is Jalen Walker of Akron, Ohio, who was running from police unarmed, and they opened fire on him, shooting him 60 times. And I know that might sound like an exaggeration, but police released the body cam footage today, which I'll show you now. All the warnings I can give you. 3, 2, They shot for almost 7 seconds straight, hitting him approximately 60 times, and now he is dead. Meanwhile, that suspect in Kentucky is in custody. Beat up a little bit, but not shot, not dead. He'll have his day in court. And I mean, just at face value, I see one glaring difference between the 2 of them. I already know there's going to be people who are like, 2 different situations, 2 different departments, can't compare them. Okay. In Kentucky, in the past, when a police officer has been killed, like the time that a suspect shot and killed a state trooper, they killed him during the manhunt. So kill 1 cop in Kentucky, fatally shot during manhunt, shoot 6 cops, killing 3 of them and a police dog, punched several times in the face. Akron Police executed Jalen Walker in the street like he was a rabid dog, and they need to be held accountable for that.
They surely do. They surely do. And if you choose to overlook this incident, well, when the rabbit has the gun on you, don't look for people to come to your aid in your defense. I'm not saying start up another movement, another false movement like Black Lives Matter, because we know our lives matter. That is not what I'm saying. I'm saying the only thing that matters to these people, and when I say these people, the elites, because those are the people who run everything, not you, not your government, the elects that you go and vote for. The elites, and all they understand is their pocketbook, their coins, their bag. There's nothing to celebrate. Not on the 4th of July, not on Christmas, not on Easter. All of those man-made holidays are only made to have you celebrate a pagan holiday, have you line their pockets more and more. I've told you guys about the art of war before in broadcasts that I've come on here to, speak to you all about. I'm not saying go burn down your own community, but I can tell you when I was coming up, and the first riot that I actually recalled was Rodney King, because I lived through that era. I was a teenager, and being so young and seeing how they pulled that man out of the car, police, and beat him within an inch of his life for a traffic stop. see, you can't tell me as a black person living the black experience that black men are not afraid when they are pulled over. Because there's no handbook that is going to save their lives or mine when there's an agenda. I'm tired of hearing people say this is how you should behave, as if we don't have the right to even speak. We are not children. So I remember Rodney King in the reading and how they played that over and over and over on a loop. You know how the news media does. Well, that hasn't stopped. And I remember reading The Art of War, and guys, let me say this. I saw many brutalities happen and more riots take place. And I recall having a conversation with someone. This was before, we had the riots that went around the world. And I recall telling someone, why would I couldn't understand that. I understand you're where you're at. You're mad and you want to take it out and you want to show your frustration because marching isn't doing it. None of this is helping. Well, when I had this conversation with someone, I had read part of The Art of War, and it had made me think, if a riot was to happen, why wouldn't they burn down the rich community? Why would they burn down their own community? Well, we've seen that turned around to take effect when they knelt on the neck of, gosh, it's been so many riots, but when they knelt on his neck.
Y'all too busy worried about fake asses and eyelashes, and our people steady out here getting killed, man.
Well, you see, they did go and they started burning down and looting luxury stores and you see, that didn't help either, because they still stockpiled bricks and things in the community to keep that fire and that destruction going, because they want you to tear down your own communities, only so that they can regentrify those communities eventually. But I was wrong for thinking, yeah, why don't they just go burn down the wealthy communities, and then they'll start to see, no, how the wealthy communities, how the people in wealthy communities receive wealth is through us, the consumer. That's how they can, and we know this, but it's so hard for you all to stop spending your dollar bills and getting your Gucci's and your, to look rich for who? Amongst your own people? And making them richer? No. If anything, your protest should not be to even go out in these streets. Your protest is to start supporting your own communities, supporting the people who have businesses in your community, businesses online. That is the protest. That is the real flex. I'm not just being judgmental towards you. There's things that I have cut out in my life. And I've told you guys that I used to have nails all the time, going to Asian shops, putting my money in communities where they can come in and build their businesses and get rich off of us and our dollars circulate, what, not even an hour within our community? But yet and still, we get no support at all. No support. Don't think about any reparations. I'm not even talking about reparations. No support. Even after seeing these marches. No support. I mean, we even know that the Asian community got support, a check, a law when they started being targeted. It is definitely time to start using your monies to feed back into your people. Because we're going to be here for a while, and I know that we're going to be here for a while because things still have not happened within the timeline that the Most High has given us for his return. So while we are still sojourning in the land of our captivity, while you are still here, voting, nah. Marching, no. Your power is supporting the businesses and the communities that support you, putting your dollars back into black businesses. That is what will create the shift. And we know this to be factual. You know this by Black Wall Street. You know this to be factual because they cannot have your dollar, your spending power, leave them. Your creativity, leave them. We need to have the brilliant minds that are out here create apps. I'm tired of hearing about people stealing content creations from us and getting rich while you sit on these platforms with your creativity, giving it away free. That is the flex. Because we are sojourning. We still have time here. How much? I don't know. I can't tell you, but I know some things have not happened. So you can start by not munching on those hot dogs, hamburgers, and brisket, and firecrackers, and all that money that you could put into a starter account for your children. How about going and getting some survival food? Yeah, how about doing that? That Christmas money that you probably have started already because they like to start Christmas in July. How about you ixnaying that? How about you start thinking of maybe saving that money for lands? Thinking ahead, thinking for the betterment of yourselves. Because that what just happened to Jalen was a mutilation. So, marching in the streets, that's not going to help you. Everything that you think helped was a lie. Was all a lie. And I know you probably think, oh, well, Martin Luther King, you know by now. Every person has been infiltrated, used to the betterment and for the betterment of the government. So you should learn how to start governing yourselves. Start making provisions and ways. Learning the land again, learning the herbs again. You don't need to look rich for us, your own people. Hell, even rich people don't wear Gucci and Prada and all of that. They don't have to look flashy like a lot of Jakes, African American people. We only flex for ourselves. Well, the big flex is flexing and buying someone's merchandise. That is someone like you put the money back into your own communities. Not marching in the streets. And that's just a big show for them to go grab their popcorn, their sodas and their wines and their cheese and sit back and say, how can we trigger them again? 60 shots, 25 years old, no incidents, no felonies, no arrests with the police. "60 shots, 90 bullets rang out." That's how afraid they are of you. And you, well, you walk around unarmed. And they're still that afraid of you. Well, make them shake some more in their boots and use your mind power to support your communities. Yes, I feel sorry for those mothers too. The mother. And I'm out. Stay out of those streets. Don't go marching. Don't be triggered. They want to spark a race war. Let them spark it with themselves. Let them use the people who have sold out that are already on their teams. You know, those gang stalkers who have no problems stalking their own people. Because there's always going to be a sellout. And half the time, they're not even your people. They're just prostitutes for hire. And I'm out. And much, much love.